A brother from, I think he was at Yale, a scientist that came out a few weeks ago and said how he taps into and creates stuff is he has to do heroin sometimes, and then the other times he has to tap into the mushrooms. That's how he becomes creative. It was a brother that they was talking about on TV.
Carl Hart. He a bad boy because he is using what I call the Donald Trump way of getting attention for him to come in and then use his intellect.
Why they keep on calling my name? Yeah.
Back to taking the mushrooms, man. It's like it's our science. All of these things came that we enjoy. A lot of people ask me like, "Oh, are you gonna turn the music off? Are you gonna turn the music off while we take the mushrooms?" I said, the mushrooms made all the music. All the music. You're gonna hear some music you never heard on this planet. Don't you like Michael Jackson? Yes. Where did they get this shit from? Elvis Presley. He was rich, right? What was he doing? Shooting down to Mexico. Going to see Maria Sabina and her people. Where was Alan Watts and them going? Jimi Hendrix. Kalindi. What would Kalindi be wanting us to do? He'd be wanting us to pay attention. Before Kalindi left, he said, it's going to be 18 to 24 months before the psilocybin and the entheogens look just like the cannabis game. How many black, big-time rich cannabis people do we know? That's right, put your hand down. You don't know none. You don't know big time. Not no big time. Everybody knows somebody black got some weed. But I'm talking about it's running an industry. Like they say something, they have packaging, they have several dispensaries, they have lobbyists on their side. That ain't us. You know why? Because we wasn't in position. Most trauma. Why? Because we ain't got enough people that look like us that I'll lay down on the couch and tell them my trauma. I don't trust you. I innately know that I can't trust you. I don't know what you're writing down over there. Well, as long as you're not suicidal, this is the end between us. Shit. You finna tell me that I'm about to tell you what happened on 10 grams of mushrooms and you ain't gonna report none of that to the feds? You ain't gonna tell nobody? Some of y'all should know y'all got a file on y'all. I'm one of them. I'm absolutely certain they have a file on all the names that I use. You know what I'm saying? From government all the way up to where I'm at now, they probably have them joints. Yeah. What's he doing now? What's he doing? That's why I don't get upset when they talk about on Facebook. They're watching everything you post. Well, nigga, post what you want to see. I don't mind you seeing when I just post it. That's fine. I already know that. So, in this space, the gold rush, pop quiz. My degree is in professional history, so I love history. Who made money during the gold rush? Let's count them. Come on, everybody. In the case, what industries made gold in the gold rush?
Mining.
Who?
Railroad.
Mining made the least amount. Yes. I'm talking about that's actual digging of the gold mining made the least. But the joker who made shovels, pickaxe, pans, dynamite, whorehouse, got to have a whorehouse, Jack Daniels, who? The bars. So what do you drink out of at the bar? So the glass industry started blowing up. You out there in the cave getting gold, you get to the whorehouse, you stink. You got to have a bath. They'll charge you 50 cents for a bath. So now somebody had to make a tub. So now there's a whole industry. Porcelain, soap. How you get the gold out of the mine? A mule first. Got to pull the cart. Okay, we're gonna put it on the cart. Somebody gotta make the cart. Somebody gotta make the wheels on the cart. Somebody gotta make the hinges on the cart. Then somebody gotta put some shoes on the mule. Then I got a lot of gold and I came out. Somebody else wanted to go. You won't take my gold. So you pulled up Smith & Wesson. I had to get the gold up because I ain't have a gun. Soon as I left, they ain't gonna get me a rifle. So the industries around gold is what's happening right now. So in cannabis, Willie Nelson is getting paid because he put his name on some papers. He has no farm. Type in TysonRanch.com. Mike Tyson gonna tell you all about this marijuana, or it's gonna seem like that. He does not grow. He got a spread that he bought some land, he's developing it with some folks. But the Tyson Ranch, the place where he does his podcast, is in El Segundo. Where was he training for the fight with Roy Jones? In El Segundo. He just moved all the stuff out the middle, put the ring up there, started training, had the cameras. What are we gonna do while our technology is coming back to us? Because right now, it hasn't been legalized or decriminalized anywhere below the Mason-Dixon line yet. So we already know California is what, 5-10 years ahead of us in every damn thing? So Oakland decrim, San Francisco, the whole Bay Area. This is the part we're talking about, pay attention. What's in the Bay Area?
Good weed.
Two good answers. But for right now, I'm gonna go with tech and Silicon Valley. Anybody got an iPhone in here? You got mushrooms in your pocket. You got an iPhone? You got mushrooms in your pocket. There wouldn't be no iPhone without mushrooms. You couldn't work for Steve Jobs unless you was on psychedelics. You walk in there with 4 master's degree, PhD, and you'd be like, hey, I'm a computer super freak. I'm a master and all that. You smoke weed? Absolutely not. Mushrooms or acid? No way. You get your ass up out of here. Joe fall up in there, the shirt all tore up, smell like he ain't took a bath in about 4 days, smelling like a half a pound. Steve said, where you graduate from? I ain't quite finished. I can take this computer apart though. What? Yeah. I drive a Beetle outside too. You do acid? Plenty. Smoke reefer? All day. Can we start you off at 90,000? Mind you, this like 84. That's down to like 200 now. Okay, I guess so. Can I smoke on the job? You can supply everybody. You can, I'll pay you 90,000 and you can sell on the job. All right, let's go. And all of a sudden, now you see, if you type in mushroom Silicon Valley, you see how like that entire, all those folks is using this to have what? Breakthroughs. They can't solve this problem. They get to a certain point. They can't solve it. They go take a little ride, smaller ride, because they don't really want to see that you're trying to cheat, that you ain't really being all the way with it. You don't want to be on the spiritual path. I just need to make this breakthrough so this new app can come through, or this new comic book can come through, or this new whatever can come through. Because it's like what 50 Cent said, it ain't what you cop, it's what you can keep. So when you go on these journeys, 5 grams or higher, what can you bring back? That's why Michael Jackson bought the Beatles catalog. The Beatles got most of their songs in Mexico when they were doing mushrooms with Maria Sabina. Just, if you in here and you know that the ancestors and the deities is looking at the offering, they ain't really looking at you. What's the offering? Like 8 years ago, it was like 2.3 million white people were registered as Ifa as their religion. Yes. I'm talking about head wrapped down. My line. Voodoo too. Go to New Orleans and just type in voodoo shop and start walking in there. You will not see this right here. And they know everything. Shrines everywhere. Everywhere. I just be like, what? Culture vulture. But then we let it happen. So I ain't mad about that. I don't care what we let happen. What are we gonna do moving forward? Be aware. So now they just decrim what's one of the last cities? I'm gonna give it to you. Cambridge, Massachusetts. Why would I bring that up? What's in Cambridge? Harvard and MIT. MIT competes with Georgia Tech. It's Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It's really Georgia Technical Institute. You know what I'm saying? Or Georgia Institute of Technology, whatever it's called, Georgia Tech. But they into computer science and tech. Why we ain't creating the industry that surround that? So they have to come see us. Because we still think that it's like weed. I'm just gonna take it to get high. I ain't gonna take it to go and explore or talk to my ancestors like T'Challa did. You know what I'm saying? And why wait till it's a dire situation to go talk to your ancestors? That's terrible. Talk to your ancestors. Hey, little young kings over there, pay attention. Talk to your ancestors every day. Every day. Make it a regular conversation. It's like you're talking to your dad. Don't just go to him, you need some money or a new pair of Jordans or whatever. Be like, what's up, Pops? What's up? Even if you don't ask him, do he need some help? You should ask him, need some help every day, because I'm sure he do. But that's how you build a relationship. Because one day, he ain't going to be an ancestor. And you ain't put no energy into forming a relationship now, it's going to be tougher because you ain't going to believe in what you're doing. You got to believe in the connection with the person while they here before you can even think that you can start bridging a gap with someone that's like unknown. And then when you start acclimating to saying, I'm used to talking to my ancestors. Aunt Granny showed up and told me such and such. So-and-so showed up and told me so-and-so. Then you can get in contact with an ancestor you ain't never met before. Because now you done already built up the residue that makes sense that I do this. Because your unconscious mind and your conscious mind is fighting it the whole time. And that's what we have to do is do things to get past the conscious mind. Get in line with the divine by getting past the conscious mind. Are those bars?
We got a clue
It was forced though. It was forced.
Like a clue bomb.
Okay. Yeah. So who got questions about mushrooms or Baba Kalindi or how to do something or anything like that?
My question is, what is the significance with you being in the dark with mushrooms?
In the dark. That's the same answer as when you come, when I sit for people, when they come through the door, I take their telephone, right? Because what comes with your telephone? Other people's agendas. Other people's agendas. When you're on Instagram, you ain't doing nothing but looking at somebody's agenda. You're looking at your email, you're looking at somebody else's agenda. Somebody wants your attention so they can get you into their agenda. So I kill that. I take that distraction, because that's what an agenda is. It's a distraction. Just like light is a distraction. Because mushrooms grow above or below ground? Below ground. The mycelium network is below ground. We all come from triple stage.
Darkness.
One more time. Triple stage.
Darkness.
Darkness. Eddie Murphy, that movie, Darkness. We come from darkness. So why would the mushroom want to work in a place that it ain't really, this ain't my crib? Don't you cook better in your own kitchen? You go, because you know where all your stuff is at. So what you're doing with mushrooms is you're trying to recreate its original atmosphere. Even when you're growing it in a shoebox. You can take a plastic shoebox and create an aquarium and create the same circumstances and situations where the mushrooms will be like, oh, wow. Then you pick that mushroom, and then another one comes. As long as it's got the same conditions that it has in its natural settings, it will produce the results. So when you go in and you're taking the mushrooms and you out here on the corner of Camilton Road, out here with the sunlight, these are agendas. These are distractions. And it takes more energy for you to block them out. So what if I go into a dark room where there's no lights, no birds chirping, no fish moving, no sound, no nothing? Why did Steve Jobs wear black t-shirts and Mark Zuckerberg always wear white t-shirts? Because they said they don't even want to spend that brain power on deciding what color to wear that day. They wear the same color shirt every day. They don't have ain't no decision. I got my mind on this one thing. So when you go into that dark space, you go in there and do work. Because then you get ready to go into the place of uncomfortability and go and do work. And that's because right now, why would I want to be uncomfortable? Hey, let me get 2 smoothies. I'm just joking. But I'm saying, I won't be comfortable. Let me get some ribs for my back. I won't be comfortable. Let me get some vegan only. Let me get some lentils and some rice. Because I want to be comfortable. But you can't grow being comfortable. Everything you want is right outside your comfort zone. So I got to go back into a place that I originally come from, but it's uncomfortable for me, which is this dark place. And then let the mushrooms work. Because what are the mushrooms? They are organic nanobites. I ain't worried about, what's your boy name? Elon Musk. He just doing a good batch of mushrooms. Where'd you come up with putting the chip in the head? If you got it from a movie, they got it from some mushrooms. So he talking about nanobites. That's why everybody don't want, that's why none of y'all want to take the virus. They ain't putting that stuff in me. Because all of us can see on Instagram somewhere where they can see little nanobites can come through the head of the needle and come into your skin through the virus and then go through and track you and blah, 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 blah. Well, if I got something that's 4 billion years old that can do the same thing, that's mine, that I sat down here to unpack my unconsciousness, I'm taking that every day. Boop, 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 boop. Now, not 5 grams every day. That's everybody asking that question. How often do you do 5 grams? At least a month in between. At least 28 days in between. Do you want a microdose? Have at it. Every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, whatever. Always on an empty stomach though. You mess with mushrooms, they do not like food. You can go all day. My man just came in and went last night. He fasted all week. He was on water and juices all week. Because mushrooms is not purging. Some entheogens make you purge. Entheogen. Let's start using the word entheogens more than psychedelics, right? Because psychedelics got that tag on it. The root word of entheogen is theos, which is Greek for God. And that's any time that we get close, anytime we take something and ingest it that gives us a God-like experience, that's an entheogen. And we know that words sound power, they carry vibrations. So if I keep calling something that is not, remember a couple, 15 years ago, our boys were going, don't call me black! Don't call me black! Oh! That's another story. But you want to start using the correct words so you can start pulling that same power. And I told, which is 5-MeO-DMT, is like the equivalent of 30 dry grams of mushrooms. Yes. And that'll get you to see the creator. Really, that'll get you to feel the creator. You don't really because you really, your eyes ain't ready for the creator. The toad, entheogens taught me a lot about Islam. You know what I'm saying? I can't lay my eyes on God. These eyes are built for y'all. You know what I'm saying? This God, my eyes can't stand everything God is shining off. You see what I'm saying? You're going to have to bend over and just feel all of that. That's the closest description I got. You know what I'm saying? Of being in a place where it's so much love, if that's even the word to describe it. Whatever's beyond love, to me, that's what the mega force is. Whether we call him El Elo or Anu or Allah, it's got to be love. Because the further we get away from the God, that's where we in the stuff that we in now. You know, we in further away from God, that's where your condition is measured by your distance away from the Creator. That's how I look at it. You're doing good, you're close. If you, what we call them people, can't get right. Y'all ever met somebody, you give them a nickname, like, man, here come JoJo. Shit, can't get right? I got to go. That joke bad luck. He can't even come to the trap house. Police probably right behind him. He ain't got no money. I know, but he just can't get right. Let's go ahead and give him a pack so he can get on. Don't do that. Don't do that. He gonna get caught, selling a nickel bag to the police, not gonna take the charge, and gonna come snitch on you. If he can't tell you what strain it is, tell you how to at least where he sourced it from, and give you something more than his fire, do not get that. So that's gonna knock out 80% of what's out here. You looking for, ask somebody, are you a mycologist? Same thing if you get an astrological reading. What I always say, if you can get a reading from somebody, there's one qualifying question that you ask a person who does astrology. You want to know if you can get ready to get beat or not. How many minutes are in a day? If the astrologer don't know how many minutes in a day, you can't get my money. You studying the motion of the planets. You don't know how many minutes in a day? The answer is 1440. Yeah. That may be the 144 they talk about. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know how many minutes in a day, you can't get my money. Because you might be talking to me on the phone and reading off your other phone, off your iPad. I can do that. That's that $35 reading, $75 reading, whatever. So I would suggest learning to grow your own, then you'll know what you got. Then you got an extraterrestrial in the house with you that's picking up your vibrations from day one. You got the spores in the syringe, or you got the spore print on a piece of aluminum foil. Then you got the jars over here. Then you mixing the perlite with the water and the brown rice flour. You putting it over here in the pressure cooker. You turning it on and watching it for 90 minutes and making sure you get to the right PSI. Them spores that's in the refrigerator, they watching you put all this energy into it. They're like, she's serious. We're gonna bring the best out. Boom. Pressure cooker's finished. You bring them out, set them down. You go and sterilize the whole kitchen. The spores are still watching you. You start inoculating the jars. It's in a nice, clean joint. You put them up under the bed, or they start popping off. It's a true story. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen when I do a shortcut, then the mushroom would be like, I'd be like, wait a minute, I did everything the same I did last time. They'd be like, nah, you didn't either. We ain't giving you nothing. We ain't gonna show no contamination or nothing. We just not going to produce. And what it was, I tried to grow some organic edible mushrooms, and they went bad. So I was just upset that they went bad. I didn't take them out the room. So they was in the same room sitting behind my magic mushrooms, but they was done. I don't know if I want to say dead or, like the energy was like, won't nothing happening. And then one day someone was like, man, take that stuff out of there. Took the joints out, 2 days later, it was like, told you. I was like, I don't have that problem no more. So right now I got my mind, like, I'm looking for a whole space right now to be like, somebody got an extra bedroom. I'm trying to commission a whole bedroom, like laboratories. Because we got to be in this space, man, because once it happens, and then we are protected, you know what I'm saying, to hold our ceremonies for our people. That's what I'm in it for. I want it for when the big dogs come through and be like, man, let me try it. You got the right spot? I got the right spot. Because I came with setting this same thing you see here, same thing you see in my house. I got the same artist. I called Zoser. I said, who did this? He was like, Amun, give me the number. Where he go? His track record ridiculous. Come on here, lace me up too. Let's get it. And now, because of that process, my mushrooms is like, oh, he putting a lot into this. And jokers is having experiences. They having big time experiences. They having traumas come up and get past. Great ideas coming out. I had a rapper a couple weeks ago, former Jehovah's Witness. I thought I had seen it all too. I have seen a lot of things, but it was a Jehovah's Witness, and it was 3 of them, and they almost was like old head Nawapians. Old head Nawapians, we'll argue your ass about shoe size. I was like, well, you out of Jehovah's Witnesses, so it's cool, right? They was like, nah, we can really ride on them. I was like, y'all riding, like y'all left, already out, you can just do what you want to do. It was like, nah, they're a cult, we're going back after them, kill the Jehovah's Witnesses. I was like, damn. And they're doing mushrooms. But they had major breakthroughs, you know what I'm saying, because their life had been took from them. You know what I mean? Like, tons, I could do stories like all day. But we keep that to ourselves though. Another thing, as a sitter for somebody else, you gotta have integrity. You gotta be somebody with honor. You know what I'm saying? Because you're really dealing with very intimate affairs of people. You know, that's why you want to stay away from Reggie. You know what I'm saying? Who don't know what he's doing. I'll sit for you. I'm good, Reggie. I'm straight. You don't know what Reggie gonna do. Reggie going through my phone, transferring money from my cash app. I don't know what happened. Your phone was off and you gave it to me. Now the battery did. I don't know. I didn't do nothing. Reggie, all type of stuff I'd rather not talk about.
Dark, complete darkness, or light? Is there a preference?
As dark as possible.
Okay, that's
As dark as possible.
Another question, is it because of the light perception of what you see?
Because you don't want to, he asked this earlier, you don't want to see no everything in light is a distraction. So I'm trying to go in. I'm trying to go in when I'm on the mushrooms. So everything else is a distraction that wants me to honor it. You see what I'm saying? So you want to disrespect your distractions. That's what mushrooms teach you, to disrespect your distractions. So now when I come back, somebody says, "Oh, you're so much more focused." Nah, I'm just disrespecting my distractions. You a distraction, that was a distraction. And some distractions have people's name on them. And there's people in your family. Sister went in 2 weeks ago, she was like, "Oh, the other thing, mushrooms can't kill you," but she thought she died, right? So the mushroom showed her what happened when she died. She said all the people that she broke her neck for, they didn't even throw her a funeral. She said they took all her money and kept on going just like nothing had happened. They didn't pour out no liquor, no nothing. What's that? Your mama, if I'm grown, my mama is grown. I ain't supposed to have no fun for you like that, for you to be no cripple. You know what I'm saying? And that whole entitled thing, how you get to shatter that, yo, because that's another spell that we on, that we owe everybody something. I owe this person something. I owe this person something because they did this for me and they did that. You don't owe nobody nothing but you. You owe yourself the best. My man asked me a couple months ago, he said, "What if you started keeping every promise that you ever made to yourself?" We don't forget half the promises that we made to ourselves. We on the mushrooms? The sister just said this morning, she was like, I was in the past, present, and the future simultaneously, and it was too much. She said everything was going on. She said I couldn't even maintain. It was because she had a whole bunch of stuff that she shouldn't even have her hands in. We touch ourselves with so many other people's agendas, we don't even know ourselves. How you gonna have knowledge of self when you caught up in everybody else's stuff? That's why I don't like multiple streams of income. I like money coming from different places, but let me get one joint where it's $10, $15 million coming a month for me doing one thing. I don't need no multiple streams, I'm straight. I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna just run this right here. I'm good. I might get to $150,000 a month and be like, I'm straight. It's gonna be tough for me to mess that up at this point in my life. Because I've already been young and foolish with some bread. At this point, it ain't gonna be nothing crazy. I have a whole system designed and set up and just be like, put that right here. The clarity that we come back for. Yes, sir.
Can you talk about how you started doing sitting ceremonies with Baba Kalindi and with the different communities that y'all went through doing this work look like? And you can talk a little bit on that.
Some people will sit for you so you can do something, and then when you come back out of it, they'll be standing right in front of you like this right here. So that when you come up out of it, as soon as you open your eyes, you will associate them as your savior. So we learn that we sit behind people. When we sit for people, if this is like the head, you know what I'm saying, like this is their nose, we back here. So when they sit up, they don't see nothing. It's them, they give credit to themselves. That's how impressionable people are. Stay behind the person. Don't put yourself in that position. Because that person is coming back from a place, man. You coming back from transdimensional. That joker's like, oh, you the one that's right. You're the one that gave me the access to meet my grandmother and to heal when I was raped when I was little and to get past my addiction. Oh, Rashid, no. Stay out the way. Let them come up and get themselves together. That's like number one. And that's why I say these culture vultures out here. And that's the part that I seen with Jerry is These jokers that want to stand over you, so when you come back, they want you just hanging from their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like hanging on to them that you can't do no better unless that person give it to you. Like we are all disgusted with that particular thing. Then there's the synthetics versus the original. That's ridiculous. When you are sitting for someone, you must have integrity. When you're looking for somebody to sit for you, you must be looking for integrity. You also can't sit for somebody if you ain't done what you're sitting for. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to taste none of my man food out there if he ain't tasted it himself. I want to get a hat, God in the flesh, because he wearing it too. He wearing his own product. So that's what I trust. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to trust what somebody's already done versus somebody, because they can't really guide me. They don't know what to watch out for. But if somebody that you just don't know, they just like, yo, I got you right here. Leave that alone, man. Ask them too, have you done what you're talking about? I'm about to do 9 grams. Have you done 9 grams? Well, you know, I did an 8 3 times, so if you add that up, that's 10.5. So yeah, I did it 3 times. You only doing it 1 time at 9 grams. Ain't that the same? But people will say that now. Trust me. That's the difference between putting $4 worth of gas in the tank and $45 worth of gas in the tank. So just because you're riding around town, you don't really know how that works. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's important for sitting is integrity.
A brother from, I think he was at Yale, a scientist that came out a few weeks ago and said how he taps into and creates stuff is he has to do heroin sometimes, and then the other times he has to tap into the mushrooms. That's how he becomes creative. It was a brother that they was talking about on TV.
Carl Hart. He a bad boy because he is using what I call the Donald Trump way of getting attention for him to come in and then use his intellect. You know what I'm saying? Because he's talking about responsible drug use.
Yep.
Because cocaine won't always bad. You put it on your eyes so they can do surgery with numbing. They will cut out whatever they will cut out. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know about what the benefits of low dosing LSD is. But if he got a PhD and he functioning, can still pay his bills, got no felonies, writing books, and he doing more than JoJo on the curb, then I'm gonna listen to what you're saying, right? And it's gonna be more Carl Harts. I'm gonna try to get him to come. If I get in contact with him, I'm gonna definitely bring him to the A. That's a fact. So he can say what he got to say. Because we trying to get him for the Oakland Psychedelic Conference, the Detroit Psychedelic Conference. The next one's gonna be 2022, and then we're doing something in Minneapolis in August. So if y'all willing to travel, we got something in Oakland coming up in the May or June. There's supposed to be a women's entheogenic conference coming up May 28th, something like that, in Detroit. We ain't really popping yet in the A. Like we kind of like Mycelium Network, Georgia period. But it's a lot going on though. So for me, I'm trying to stir up a little noise so the joke can come to the surface so we can do some Voltron, or at least some mastermind in Voltron. You ain't got to like show it yet, but let's put some solidarity together, put some plans together, so when they do come, we just step in place. So anybody smoke cookies? Y'all, anybody know what the weed cookies is? That's that fire, right? He already opened. He turned down $800 million for his company. Cookies. He made most of his money off apparel and merchandise. He made more money off apparel and all his stuff than he do the weed. He turned down $800 million 2 years ago for his company. Guess what he doing now? Mushrooms. But how he's smart is he's doing like microdosing of the organic mushrooms, like reishi, like cordyceps. So he already in the game. He already got packaging, he already got labels, he already got caps. Guess what else he got? Location. He already in California. Oh, California just introduced a bill that they get ready to legalize statewide. Oh, after the president of Oregon. Oh yeah, because Cambridge, Massachusetts just decriminalized. Oh, it's Harvard and MIT up there. Oh, it was the cat from Harvard who went down to Mexico who got the information from Maria Sabina. Are you all going to continue to let the culture vultures just sweep down in, just pull the food right off your plate? Not out your mouth, out your plate, mouth, off the stove. Because they perched up in our kitchen right now. Because anybody can learn to grow mushrooms. Anybody can take a container. Somebody, okay, when you sit for people, on low doses, you can put them in a chair, right? And they just lay back, right? They charge you a couple $100 for that. It's a dude trying to put a patent on the way you hold a hand. What? First off, he had the money to put, you got to have money to pay to get a patent.
So he trying to
Get how can I have a patent on how you hold hands while somebody's on mushrooms or DMT at low dose. Or he want to put a patent, somebody want to put a patent on the chair that you lay back in. Why can't we start making mushroom chairs? Why can't we start making fedoras?
What would be your response to an individual who take 5 grams, in the dark, they look like they a little woozy, like they've been drinking, which they don't drink, right? And then a resounding voice says, while they're in that state, you don't need this, you're already with us.
Curious people. So if I'm on 5 grams and I'm woozy and they say, you don't need no more, I'm testing that. I probably had some inhibitions about going in myself. Every time I do mushrooms, I'm nervous in the front. I'm nervous in the front every time. I'm big talking right now. But when you put something in front of me, I'm looking down there, I got all the same thoughts that the beginners got. Damn, that's a lot. How long that's gonna take? Am I gonna throw up? I'll start putting them in my mouth then. I'm trying to think myself out of it. Yeah, but I would say take more. Yeah, I'm gonna test it. Take 7. If they told you that at 5, they're gonna have to tell, because the protocol is 5 grams, wait 28 days, take 7 grams, wait 28 days, take 9 grams. If y'all tell me 3 times, then I'm done. You gotta tell me 3 times. Because I could have heard, we all know that jinns and all type of entities can pose as archangels or deities, but this nigga ain't got nothing but janitor rank. He came and told me something, I fell for it, then I turned around and asked him to give me $500 to help pay rent. That nigga couldn't come through. You just got finished having the voice of God. Now I ask you to help me produce a $500 ritual or do something, and now you done abandon me. Where you at? I want to know where the voice came from. So that's not, for me, that's like, it's a world of excuses not to do more mushrooms because your mind been in control for so long. Your mind is so loud. What's the competition? The competition ain't out here for your ego, it's out here for your mind. They don't market to us no more. They market to the black woman, and the white woman buy what she buy. Rihanna's not making all this bread off of her lipstick from a bunch of sisters. I'll tell you that shit now. You know what I'm saying? But she's the face. All marketing. They run 80% of them. They run all 80% of all online transactions. The head cat knows that, the sinister. So you think he care about what men you think? And I can't let you be getting free. Let me keep your woman scared. How old is that policy? That thing right there, that play been running so well. That play right there. Touchdown. What we running today? Keep your woman scared. What side we gonna run to, left or right? Don't matter. Well, we've already ran it 16 times to the left.
It don't matter.
In a row. You think they're gonna let us run it again? Shit, let's see.
Tell them the game plan.
Play. Down, set. Keep your woman scared to the left. Keep your woman scared to the left. On 3. Hut 1. Hut 2.
Touchdown.
Hut 3. Touchdown. 70-yard scamper. Not no 3 or 2. Not no diving over the top.
I know that.
Not no diving over the top. through the hole, hit the secondary, jogging. Our secondary called a cramp. Oh. Don't be scared. Sister, don't be scared. That's why I say, if you don't come out of your mushroom journey with more confidence, then somebody else was in there with you. If you don't come out with more confidence, there was somebody else in there with you. That's why I say your surrounding got to be airtight. I ain't worried about nothing over at my spot. We watered up. I'm on some wish a nigga would. That's one thing I took from Bobby Hemmett. Bobby Hemmett always, and Malachi, all my teachers must have that one thing for me to follow you in your lineage. That I wish a nigga would. Look. See, he got the I wish a nigga would look. You know, he don't say much. He not the one though. You too. You got the same look. You're not to be tried. So if you was to teaching, I want to hear it. But if I could try you or somebody else could try you, then I ain't thinking about that. You know what I'm saying? So that's in my lineage. I'm from the Wish a Nigga Would tribe. So I got certain things in there that if something disagreeable get close to my house, it's going to get very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And then if you make it inside my house, obviously you done pass all type of tests. All type of tests. I done seen people get to my altar room. I'll be like, yeah, this not gonna do. Just come on in. I'm just gonna stand here and look. You ain't allowed. I'm not gonna ask you twice. Bro, just come on over here. I'm trying to show you this is my great granddaddy right here. Let me show you such and such. I can see it from here. Me too. I can see it from here too. Let's go back downstairs and go and get you up out of here. You really shouldn't even made this close. I'm so happy when I got a 2-story house. Y'all got a 2-story house, put your altar room upstairs. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? Is it close to heaven? I'm trying to be with a little bit of the Bible. I'm going upstairs. Where you going, upper room? I'm literally going upstairs. Upstairs. I got stuff downstairs too, but I want to make it where there's some separation in the situation. I hope that makes sense. Yes. Anybody else got a question? At higher doses, you know, I have done a smoothie too. The acid in there is cool, but at lower doses, I totally say that's some BS. You gonna do, Baba Kalindi said, you ain't doing what the ancient ones was doing because you ain't doing what the ancient ones did. The ancient ones didn't have a Vitamix. They didn't have a smoothie. So, and they watching me. What am I doing? I'm trying to get down 20 and 30 grams, different story. I think ancestors give you a pass. When you're going through a lot of trauma, my nigga, just get it down. However you can mix it up and get it down. If you get them 20 down, we'll be right there on the other side with the mental net. Then we're gonna show you the whole thing. We're gonna show you where Heru messed up. We're gonna show you everything. So on a smoothie, on an empty stomach, yes. Also, if you think about purging, mushrooms are not a purging entheogen. Cambo, ayahuasca, some other things, those are purging. So once again, stop watching all these white people on YouTube talking about I threw up on my mushrooms, I had a bad trip. Your ass got a toxic ass stomach. You got a toxic ass stomach in the first place. Mushrooms got down there, thought looking around, was like, let me out. Now you done wasted the damn money on your trip because we done call it toss your cookies. That's the last thing. That's the nastiest thing. You know, it's okay to purge sometimes when you got something, but if I just went and bought the mushrooms and spent the money and I'm trying to have this experience and ceremony and then they ain't been down for 30 minutes, it take that long to get down past the esophagus. You didn't throw up from the stomach? That's what I'm saying. It ain't got to your stomach yet in 30 minutes. So why are you throwing it up? I told somebody last night, I was like, grow up. They came back this morning and was like, I remember last night you told me to grow up. Yeah. Why are you in here trying to make yourself throw up? What are you doing? You're right, I don't have to to throw up. What are we doing? So ayahuasca, a couple of weeks before mushrooms, I heard that's really good because you're gonna go ahead and purge and get that out the way. Then you can just stay on that same ayahuasca diet, which is no fried foods, vegetarian, you know what I'm saying? No spicy foods, you know what I mean? Me, worst case scenario, 2 o'clock, that's a cutoff. Nothing after 2 o'clock. If you're going in at 9, because now I got me 7 hours in between that. My teacher, Amsel told me 5 hours minimum. So I didn't ask for spicy food. I ain't done ayahuasca, but for mushrooms, I have done some nice African around 2 o'clock. And then shot over to Winston-Salem and then did my mushrooms. I ain't never threw up. I had felt it coming, but I did the same thing. I was just like, yo, chill out. Just tell my stomach, just chill out, yo. You just exaggerate. You want to give me a reason. So, that ain't me. So yeah, smoothies is okay. Not on 5 grams though. And not teas either. However, some people make nice teas, and teas are for casually with your homeboys during the day. You know what I'm saying? If your homeboy come through and say, yo, we need to drop about 4 grams so we can have a good conversation, we're gonna make it to a tea. It's a couple of y'all right here I definitely would sip 4 grams with in the middle of the day. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you bring your own. If you bring your own, I ain't got to go in my bag. Shit, of course. Absolutely. If we got the time though. Because it's definitely gonna be, yeah. There's gonna be some hours now. Ain't gonna be no short, you know what I'm saying? Get to it. Cause first off, after we drink the tea, we still looking at each other, because ain't nothing happened. Then that happens. You have company. Who's here? And I don't know who the they are yet. If anybody's thinking about that, you took 5 grams or more than 5 grams, it definitely appears that it's more than one person teaching you or holding class. It's a they. I've seen them in pairs. Now I've seen them like pass me along too. Like we finished with you, go here. They just pick me up right into the very next lesson. So who has not done 5 grams? Who's interested? That 4 people, and it was low hand raisers too. Niggas like they were bidding on something. Think I'm like, you saw me blink my eye. I didn't want nobody else to see it. It's okay, man. It's okay. Black people can do mushrooms and you ain't gonna die. In order for you to get, Bible said, in order for you to get to a 50% chance of killing yourself with mushrooms, you have to eat half your body weight. Don't worry about that. There ain't nobody in here. No, in 1 ounce, in a pound is 16 ounces. Some of y'all don't know that, okay? It could be useful for you one day. In them 16, 1 ounce is 28 grams. You're not eating 2 grams of mushrooms. You're not eating two ounces of mushrooms and doing nothing, much less a pound. I can't even imagine, you know what I'm saying? That's not even on my radar of even thinking, let me just do 60 grams of mushrooms. It's one dude making a tea over in Oakland, and he be putting in like, I've seen 114 grams on the stick. That's a QP. That's 4 ounces. And I was like, where you going? Where you going? You couldn't solve it on 50? You couldn't solve it on 28 or 35? That problem is unsolvable. So this part, mushrooms are non-addictive. However, just like if you smoke too much weed, that can tear a hole in your auric field. Mushrooms is worse. Because remember when I said about the respect, you can get away with disrespecting weed for a little while, maybe a little longer. Mushrooms, the joint's not happening. You can't be doing 10 grams every week just because I can. I'll do 30, but I'm gonna just go ahead and do 10 again, 10 again, 10 again. You gotta give yourself a rest, bro, because you know what I'm saying? Like, and you gotta measure your intentions too. What am I in this thing for? Because after the ceremony is the journey. That's why I tell people, come empty, leave full. Because if you can be in contact with your ancestors, they have something for you already that you ain't been willing to do. You've been sidestepping it. turning the shoulder, saying it was somebody else's responsibility and stuff like that. You get it on the mushrooms, they be like, wow. I know, but wait. Then the mushrooms wear off and you come back in the morning, be looking at me, be right there on your forehead. You know exactly what it is. And you gotta straighten out things in succession. It's just like going up to be a master mason. You can't just skip in an apprentice. You can't just move into I'm gonna just go from white belt to black belt. It's belts in between to show how honorable you are, how much integrity you have, and for you to learn along the way. So like, I know it's a whole lot more for me to learn on the way, you know what I'm saying, on the ladder. Because my high dose is 14 grams. Like I said, I was very upset with Bob because I got to call him when I got to finish. You want to talk to somebody who already done what you done too. So somebody who had already done 40, he can understand when I'm talking to him about what happened at 12. And not laugh at me and not be like, nigga, shut up. No way. My man just passed, my space partner just passed in December, went to the funeral. So of course, we all went to high school together. I'm the only one doing mushrooms. What do you think I said? Y'all taking this kind of hard. I know you got this going on. Y'all need to try these mushrooms. They looked at me like I was crazy. I said, you know how much cocaine we used to do? You know how much weed we done smoke? You know how many crimes we done broke together? And now you don't want to do this? So it's not for it's for everybody and it ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not a hard sell. I'm interested in people who are interested in it.
Why they keep on calling my name? Yeah.